This ain't your average build of a car. There's nothing average about this. I'm trying to make this a car that's gonna give a lot of people memories because of the interaction that everybody has given me with this car. It's not my car, it's everyone's car. In short, what am I making? 1976 Mark II Escort rally car. The car is, I would say it's 95% finished now. Every single part of the car is now made. It's now under construction to put the car together to finish. But it's all there. It's all there. This is an old-fashioned, hands-on skill. We are all still out there, not a lot of us, because everything's going computerised, but this is proving a point. If you want it bad enough, you'll do it. And this has been a build that's gone way beyond anything I thought it was going to be. I found that where we've got people literally all over the world, Tobago, Trinidad, Mexico, Canada, Norway, South Africa, everywhere. Everyone's had a big impact on this car. This has been the people's car, this little silver car. When we decided to do the spotlights, I didn't want to make that decision. But I actually asked everyone out there, do I or don't I make spotlights? But out of, I think there was about 4,000 comments, there was only 2 or 3 people who said we don't want you to put them on, make them. So I've now made the spotlights, big diamonds. And then the best bit is, this is where the good comes out. There's a guy up north, but he's in, let's say, our trade. And he said, Russ, he said, I've seen what you're doing with that car. He said, what sort of carat weight are you looking at for them spotlights? I said, well, the bottom ones are going to be about 70 or 80 pointers guessing. I said, the top ones, I think they're going to be about 1 carat 30 each. He said, right. And he said, they're in the post tonight. Really? He said, you put them in. He said, and when that car is sold, I know you've got to retrieve your material costs. He said, when you get paid and you get your material costs back, then you pay me. What can you ask for? It's just brilliant. I can't honestly put it into words how good people have been to me, or good to the car. Most of us rally cars will have a mud arch protector. And the idea of it was initially that when the rally cars were built, you're going through the forest and you're going sideways, all the stones are kicking up everywhere, it annihilates your floor and the side of the car. Even the tarmac cars now have these arch protectors. I've made them in gold. And they look quite neat. But you look at any mud arch protector, they're black. I just thought, can I? Damn it, let's have a go at it. I think I've set 200 fine quality black diamonds to give that black appearance. And they don't look good. They look superb. They are absolutely spot on. That's a nice touch. I love that. The tooling of the car was never planned. I've actually made group 4 nuts, which is a nut that you have on a rally car. But they're so tiny, when I was putting them on, I was struggling with my fingers to get the rascals on. So I just thought to myself one day, I've got to make a little attachment, have a socket, because the car is consistently apart, put back together, apart, put back together. I don't know if I can make a ratchet or a wheel brace. I don't know if I can do this. I wonder if I can. Even if I make a false one, so it looked like it works. So I actually made it, took all the body to work and everything else, and I made the body. I put it together and I thought, no, I think we can do this. So I took my own ratchet apart, but when you're making something this small, the actual spring that I made, it doesn't even actually measure on my gauge. My gauge goes down to 0.1 of a millimetre, and I shut it and it didn't move. So I can't actually tell you how thin the wire is, because they were so tiny, they kept sticking to my fingers, on tweezers, sticking to my tweezers. And I eventually got them in, pushed them in, put the plate down, screwed it down, click. Did it the other way, unlock, worked. Happy days. That's a buzz. That's a buzz. There's always going to be someone better than you, and I'm a big believer of that. So I don't want to build anyone's expectations up that this silver car is going to be the best thing you've ever seen. I don't want to do that. I'm just hoping that when you see it, or any individual sees it, that they like what I've done, because I've tried to prove a point. And if I may go back to when I was a kid, at 8 years old, we got a school report that my dad opened up, and it said in it, your son is never going to be anything. He deserves only a combed hat with a D on it, which stood for dunce in them days. Now, okay, my education wasn't the best. The school that I went to was just somewhere you went every day. It wasn't education, it was somewhere you went to have a fight every day. And that's how we grew up. But how must have my dad felt? That's something that's never left me. But from that day onwards, I thought, well, I might not be the cleverest person in the world, but the one thing I am is a trier, and I will never give up. Never. You try. You try. And if someone says to you, if you're young, middle-aged, whatever, you're not this, you're not that, prove them wrong. And I'm still trying. I've actually literally given this everything. It's taken a big part of me, this car. Now, how many views are we going to get? We don't know. But all them pounds can make a massive difference. That's what I'm hopefully looking at. And if we can get maybe a bottle of water down a kid's throat that really needs that bottle of water, it's only £1, isn't it? Is an Escort in me? God, no half is it. When I met Kay in 1984, I had a Mark 1 twin cam wide wing, and one day I sat her down and I said, will you marry me? I said, but I've got one issue. I said, one thing you must know. I said, don't ever stop me with these. So we went to the church, and we walked down she walked down the aisle, and he's will you marry me, and all this lot, and I do, blah blah blah. And she put the ring on my finger, and I put her ring on her finger. Obviously I made them both. But when we come out the church, she said, take your ring off. So I said, well, she said, have a look, I arranged something without you knowing. She said, well, have a look inside it. So I took the ring off, and it says, I love you forever, and I love your escorts with you. Right, well, thank you so much for watching our video that we've made on the Rascal. I hope you've enjoyed what you've just watched. It was a lot of dedicated time to produce that video, in as far as hiring out the track, hiring out the rally car, the filmmaker, the guy that's made the video. It's been a lot of work, and obviously producing this at the same time. Now you've seen it, I hope you've all enjoyed it. The idea of this, the whole concept, is to raise money for children. We are going to probably be dividing the money up by four charities, and all the profits that we get from everything that we do will be divided by the 4 charities. This whole concept is about the kids. That's what it's all for. I get my buzz from making this, and I've loved every minute of it, hence number 2. But at the end of this video there will be a link for how you can donate. If you can donate £1, £2, whatever you feel comfortable with, £1 is still a bonus. That's how we see it. But if there's a lot, we can make a difference. Thank you.